Hi, and welcome to the Reiki from the Farm podcast, brought to you by me, Pam Allen-LeBlanc from Hidden Brook Farm. I am a scientist, a businesswoman, and a licensed Reiki Master teacher with the International Center for Reiki Training. Each week in this podcast, you'll be entertained as you learn about a wide variety of relevant Reiki topics, helping you become a more knowledgeable and effective Reiki practitioner. We caution you, though, this podcast may also dramatically improve your life, and we are so happy that you're here. On this week's podcast, I'm talking with my friend and my mentor, William Rand, about mastering longevity and healthy aging. Welcome, William.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
So, William, I just had to have you come on and talk about this because you are a master at this, as far as I am concerned. You've got a couple of years on me. And when we were together recently, you were sitting cross-legged on a stool and we couldn't keep up with you on hikes. So I really wanted to bring you on and give people your secrets. Thank you for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. Sure. Mm-hmm.
So for those of you listening, I just wanted to let you know that William and I, are going to be together at Omega Institute for a Wisdom of Reiki conference, which is actually June 21st to 23rd. So we'll be there on the summer solstice. Would love to have you join us. I'm actually working at an Open to Peace conference before that. And William, you're going to be teaching a Karuna Reiki class at Omega Institute after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be exciting. So if any of you want to join us, I don't think it's too late to sign up. Go ahead and check the links in the podcast. This summer, I also have some whale classes, both online and in person, where I'll be teaching level 1 and 2 in Reiki Masters, as well as animal Reiki level 1 and 2 in Masters. And on the Tuesday evening in between classes, we'll go out and actually go whale watching on a little island off the coast of Maine, Campobello Island. So would love to have you join us for that if you can. Yeah, it's going to be fun. And
It
sometimes
does sound like fun. Yeah.
maybe you want to come.
Yeah, those whales, that'd be amazing, huh? So
It really is. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes it's hard to hold the attention of the students in class because just looking out my living room window, sometimes the whales are right there. Yeah.
do you ever think that they might be in your class,
I'm pretty sure they
the whales?
are in our
Taking your
class.
yeah.
William, yeah, after we taught the Animal Reiki Master last summer for the first time on the island, as we were teaching that class, the whales were in the bay, and one of the fishermen said, I don't understand it. Those two humpbacks, and we had a combination of humpbacks and minkies, and we didn't see many finbacks, but we saw those two species. And he goes, those two humpbacks, they've been there all night in that bay. They haven't moved on. I don't understand it. And my friend in the class, we just looked at each other and snickered. But something really amazing happened about 2 days after the class, which is the very rare North American right whale, which hadn't been seen in our bay for 4 years, showed up and spent the rest of the summer there. Yeah. So I think they are
nice.
taking part of the class.
Yeah, oh sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love it. Guys,
Yeah,
everybody.
I know.
Oh,
I've got whales. I've got whales here in front of my house too. I don't see them out there at the moment, but they definitely come up, they jump and they spout and everything. Whales are everywhere.
whales are everywhere. And William, when Karen Harrison and we came a little bit early as the licensed teachers visited you in January, and we went whale watching, and you get to see them breach more often than we do. They're usually eating when they come up north. They're usually feeding, but down your way, they're playing. And I saw a whale breach for the first time. I loved it.
Oh, wow. Great.
Yeah, but that all the time, I think.
That's what they do. They play, they spout, and then they jump and stuff. And One time I saw a mother and baby jump together. Like the mother was teaching, I imagine the mother was teaching, this is how you jump. Ooh, fun. Oh, we. Little baby was doing with the mother.
Must have been amazing.
Yeah,
I love it. Well, for
yeah.
everybody listening,
Mhm.
I'm just going to invite you to bring your hands into Gasho right now and just activate your Reiki energy. And no matter what your age, whether you're young or old, one of the things Reiki can do for us is help us age gracefully and also make the most out of our time, our lives. And so just invite the Reiki symbols to flow through you and around you. You might even use a prayer that William uses regularly, and I've adopted from him, which is guide me and heal me, so that I may be of greater service to my health, to myself and to others. And just inviting Reiki to flow through you for optimal health and vitality. I just take a moment to thank you for being the bright light that you are in the world and to thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Namaste. So, William, I recently, when we were together in Arizona, I came across a book by Ilchi Lee. And in it, he said that he was going to live 120 years because it's been biologically proven that can happen. Are you aware? You probably are that the human body is designed to live for up to 120 years. And how has that influenced your approach to healthy aging?
I don't know. Maybe I haven't read the scientific basis for that idea, but I'm sure it's possible. And I think, though, that I think there's a number of factors to consider about how long is an appropriate age to live. And I think it varies from person to person because on the other side, there's a lot going on there too. And in fact, let me tell you something that just happened to me. This is very unusual. I'd never experienced this before. So yeah, about a week ago, I got a very interesting message, and it said, "Your time is up now. You've completed your mission, and now you're going to die and go on to this beautiful reward on the other side." And I thought, oh, actually, I was wondering that I've got it. It took me a long time to get where I am now. I'd like to stay here a while because everything's going really well.
Yeah.
They go, oh, okay. So then they said, okay, we can give you an extension. So I said, okay, good. And what I found too is that on the other side, we think, oh, they're all knowing and everything. They're not. We know more about what's happening here on the earth than they do to some extent. And so, in terms of perspective and what's right or not right, what's going to work, we've got actually a better idea of that. And so that's what I was explaining to them. It took me a long time to get where I am now. I want to stay here a while. I got everything working, it's all going really well. And I now am in a position to accomplish even more. Then they understood that and they said, okay, we'll give you an extension. So, so I
Okay,
imagine
that
it's going to
makes
be
me
another.
happy, William. I'm not quite ready to
Yeah.
let you go.
Yeah, I think another 20 years or something like that. But for
Perfect.
myself, I have a fairly good awareness of what the other side is. And it is really an amazingly wonderful place.
Right,
So I'm not afraid of dying.
right.
But when my time comes, now apparently my time came, but I asked for an extension. So uh,
I'm really happy that you
yeah,
did.
it really happens. My guides are very accommodating, I guess you might say. And they got maybe what it is that I got something to do on the other side. But what I'm saying is heaven can wait. You've heard
Yes.
that heaven can wait. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just gonna hang out, I think another 20 years, maybe something like that. But we'll see.
William, I don't blame you because I have watched you and you have impressive physical stamina. I can't keep up with you on hikes. Not many of us can. And you've maintained this level of stamina and health even after a heart condition. What's your secret there?
If I do have a secret, basically it's regular exercise. And
Mhm.
so the reason I could walk so far is because I walk every day. I walk at least 4 or 5 days a week, and I
Wow.
go up to 5 miles.
Wow.
So think about that, 5 miles. So the hike we went on,
Yeah.
that was like not much of a hike at all to me. 5 miles, because I'm doing 5 miles. I walk as fast as I can. There's hills and all kinds of stuff. When you do that every day, at first maybe it takes you some time, but you gradually get in shape. Your muscles get stronger. Your arteries, your circulation, everything gets better. Respiration, all that, and you go faster. And then pretty soon you're walking quite a long ways, and it feels great the whole way. You're just as strong at the end as at the beginning, and but that's because you need to do it regularly, like at least 4 times a week. And so
Mhm.
that is quote my secret. Regular exercise. I'm walking all the time, and that hike that we went on was really relatively easy. And I think didn't I go back? I was that the
Oh,
one where I walked back
the
on one
year
of those
before you
hikes.
did, you walked
Yeah, on one
back,
of the
went and
hikes.
got the
Yeah,
car and came and got some people.
yeah, you guys were going to go to the airport. So I said, oh, then what are we going to do there? So then I walked all the way back to the parking lot, got my truck and drove it over to the airport and was there in time for you guys to drive you back to where our cars were parked.
I know,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. So just really maintaining that level of fitness. And you're also, William, really flexible. I was watching you sit cross-legged on a stool, and you
Hmm.
mentioned that you stretch your back every day. Can you tell us a bit about that flexibility and balance that you have?
Yeah, I will meditate. When I meditate, I sit cross-legged. And
Hmm.
so that keeps the joints more limber. So it's just a matter of as you're getting, quote, as time goes by. I won't say getting older, but as time goes by, if you regularly do stretching, it keeps your joints limber. And so I regularly sit in a cross-legged position, and it keeps that limberness in my legs. And then the other thing I do is an exercise to stretch my back. Now, in yoga, what I got from it is that stretching the spine is the most important part of yoga. And so what I do is I do a back stretching exercise. So I have this hammock that is hanging from the ceiling. I put it so that the hammock is right here around my back here. And I go walk back so it's tight there. Then I bend backwards. And
Mm.
then the gravity will start to pull on my back, and I stay there until my back it bends further and further. So the backward bend, that's how I do the backward bend. Now I know in yoga there's the plow, but I think this type of backward bend is even more effective because it bends a lot more, and you can move the hammock to a different spot on your back, like it's a one-person hammock. I don't know if you've seen those or not. That's what I've
Mhm.
got. But you can take also, oh yeah, I have a strap. Now I carry this with me when I travel. Let me go get this strap that I've got. I'll show you what that looks like.
Sure.
Okay, so this is a strap I carry with me when I travel.
Wow.
Now notice it's just a flat piece of strap like that. I think you can get it at the hardware store.
Yeah.
And then I tied it together here in a knot. So I take a door, open it up, put this in the door and close the door toward me, and then the knot holds it there. Then this I put around my back like
Yeah.
this, and then it's up like that. Then I go back and I lean back.
And
And so I
stretch.
can put the strap anywhere on my back that feels like it needs the most stretching.
Yeah.
And then I lean back. And so it's the gravity that will do it. And it stretches your back, I think, a lot better than the plow in
I think
yoga.
it does too. I used your
Yeah.
hammock
So,
when I visited you, and
oh, yeah.
and so I've rigged up something like that here at my house now too to keep my back supple.
Yeah, like I say, go to the hardware store, you can get this strapping material,
I'm
and
gonna do
then
that.
I just put this in my suitcase and I put it in a door,
Yeah.
boop, and I stretch my back backwards. And then the forward stretch, I tend to do more of the plow. I think it's the plow. That's where you stretch your feet back over the top of your head, like you're laying on your back, and your feet go over your head like that. At first,
Okay.
you can't do it quite as much, but you start to bend like that, and eventually, then you can do all the way.
Wow, William, and it's definitely working for you. You're so flexible
Yeah.
and
The
fit.
thing would be is that you have patience with yourself. At first, you're not going to be able to stretch very far. But don't worry about that. Don't worry. It's okay. Just do it each day and you'll find out, oh, my back is a little more limber now. I can go just a little further. You don't push yourself too hard, but you do it each day. And eventually you get more and more stretched out. And
Yeah.
so it's that limberness in your spine mainly that keeps you more youthful.
I love that. And William, you're careful as well with your diet. And you talked to us about the importance of hydration. And I've really taken that to heart and been working
Yeah,
to
hydration.
hydrate
Gee, I
more.
know what you're talking about. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Now, the thing about that is something very important to know is that as time goes by, people lose their sense of thirst.
Oh,
Children are wanting, they always say, dink, dink, like my little sister when she was young, dink, dink, and we bring her water to drink. She couldn't
yeah.
say dink, dink. So we bring her water. So children want water and they know when they're thirsty because they have a sense of thirst. It's active. But as time goes by, you start to lose your sense of thirst. So you don't drink as much water. So you must deliberately force yourself to drink a lot of water. So what I do, the first thing when I get up is I have a large 16-ounce glass. I fill it up. I drink down the whole glass, 16 ounces. I fill it up again, sit it on the counter. And throughout the day, I'll drink another one. So I do 3 or 4 of those glasses just drinking them, along with anything else I might drink if I'm eating meals. That's really important because we lose our sense of thirst. So we need to remain hydrated. And dehydrated, then you're not as flexible and actually you can lose energy. So being hydrated helps your energy level stay high. So
Yeah.
very important to be hydrated.
Yeah. And you're also careful with your diet as well. What was the name of the anti-aging group you belong to? And how did their philosophies help you? And how did they align with Reiki for you?
There are a number of anti-aging groups. This one's called Cenogenics.
Hmm.
Cenogenics. And they're into doing things to help people remain youthful.
Mm.
And so they do stretching, they do special diet and exercise. And that's mainly what they do: stretching, diet, exercise. And they're into aerobic, which would be walking, but they're also into strength training, keeping your muscles strong. And the thing about that is that the muscles actually burn energy without being used. So if you can strengthen your muscles, those muscles just sitting there actually burn calories. So
Mm.
if you're thinking about maintaining a nice weight, the pot belly,
Yeah,
anyone familiar with a pot belly?
I am.
We don't call it that, do we? No, we don't. No. But anyway, we but that happens, and then what happens is your metabolic rate goes down, and then you don't feel as comfortable. So you eat to make yourself feel like that soothing feeling, and so
Right.
then your stomach gets bigger. And what you need to do, though, is be very persistent in reducing the number of calories you eat and also getting some type of exercise. I would say aerobic, like walking.
Yeah.
Walking is very pleasant, and you can get headphones or earbuds and listen to music as you're walking. And I would say a minimum of a half hour, 45 minutes, or 1 hour of walking each day.
Yeah.
And so I walk 4 miles in 1 hour.
Yeah.
And so that's like my minimum that I like to do. And actually, it's quite enjoyable. You're outside, you're breathing fresh air, and looking at things. And there's little animals, squirrels and birds and everything flying and all that. Those are all very therapeutic to be in touch with the wildlife around you and things going on in your neighborhood. You actually wave. I wave a lot to people that go by. I wave to everybody that goes by, and so they become very familiar with me. And so it's a lot of fun and you feel really good with it too.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend. I mean, it's really important to get some type of exercise. Walking is really good, and then if you can do some sort of like calisthenics, push-ups, or deep knee bends or something, or also some lightweight training, That is really important. Like I was saying, though, as you develop muscle strength, those a healthier weight by increasing muscle mass.
Right. Oh my gosh. And you mentioned too the importance that with that organization, the importance of a low carb diet as well.
Yeah, yeah, a high protein, low carb diet. The best way, one of the ways I maintain that is with protein powder drinks. One of the problems as people get older is they don't get enough exercise and they don't eat enough protein. So what happens is as time goes by, actually your body loses the ability to absorb protein as efficiently as in the past, which means you need to eat more protein.
Yeah.
So the solution is more protein, so more than normal, something like 100 to 120 grams of protein per day. And you
Okay.
can get that really well with a protein drink. Let me show you my protein, the type of protein I use.
Sure.
This is a protein powder. This is one of them. There's a lot of different brands out there, but as you can
Now
see, I've got a great
sports, bunch of it now sports pea
for the
protein.
7 pounds here. So anyway, you can get smaller ones too. But what I do is I've got a blender and I
Mhm.
put some almond milk in and I put 3 to 4 scoops of the protein powder. It's 24 grams per scoop. So you get almost 100 grams in that one drink. So
Wow.
then I can't drink all of it at once. So I leave it in the blender. I pour myself a glass. I drink that and later in the day get another glass full. So that's how you can maintain your protein, and actually, the protein is low in calories as well. So it fills you up, it gives you the protein you need to keep your muscles strong, and it helps you to lose weight as well.
I love that. William, how do you think practicing Reiki helped you in the process of all this healthy aging? Can you share where it's been beneficial for you?
There's two things. First of all, stress, anxiety, and so
Mm,
forth. That worry really is not healthy. And it actually, when you're worried or you're anxious, your capillaries constrict. So it decreases the blood flow to the organs of your body. And so then they don't get the nutrition in the bloodstream and they don't carry away the toxins as efficiently. And so then your organs get more toxic, they don't function as well. And because of that, you just don't have the energy and you don't feel very good. It's really important then to continue in that way. But adequate protein is really important,
the
like they say.
and then the Reiki, it really helps with releasing the stress. And you
Yeah, the
mentioned there
stress.
was two things Reiki did for health.
The other one is that it can actually go into your future and solve problems before you get to them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Now,
didn't expect you to say that. That's great.
yeah. Yeah. So when it does that, it releases the worry that we have about the future. So often they're worried about the future, they have regrets about the past, and that's going, it takes up part of their mental function, so they don't have that much left over to actually be in the present moment.
Right.
It's really important to actually, with Reiki, we can send Reiki to our future to prepare the way.
Yeah.
And then it releases stress and anxiety about the future. And it gets to the point where you're not worried about your future at all. And the thing is that as you experience this, you go, oh, it seems like it's working. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
working. And you start to trust it, and pretty soon you just let go completely. And you realize your future is all taken care of. Reiki's taking care of it for you,
Yeah.
and you can just be in the present. So just small children, maybe you've had children, and when they were young, they're playing on the living room floor, and the parents are maybe sitting there, and the children feel safe, and they're playing with their toys or dolls or blocks or whatever they're playing with, completely absorbed in the moment. They're not worried about the future. They're not worried, regretting anything in the past. They're completely 100% in the moment. And that's what we need to be able to do, is to be in the moment doing what we're doing right now and not worried about the future or regretting the past, but 100% in the moment. And then we'll actually enjoy ourselves better and we'll get the things done that we're wanting to accomplish because we're completely focused on what we're doing.
I love that. William, I actually, people tell me all the time, how young that I look younger than I did 10 and even 15 years ago.
Oh,
I think,
yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah,
That's
I
true.
think Reiki just it does release that stress. It does so much, and it even impacts us at a cellular level
Hmm.
with our health. And like you, I take Reiki walks every day. I actually activate Reiki, and sometimes I chant or tone my symbols as I walk
Yeah.
with the dogs, and
Hmm.
that can just be so lovely. So but yeah, going ahead and solving the problems, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it makes you feel like everything's okay, the future's taken care of.
Yep.
Of course, it also often what it will do is that your Reiki knows what you need to be aware of, and it might cause you to actually read an article about something, and
Yeah.
you make note of it, and then you find out, oh, now what's happening, something takes place, and oh, now I didn't realize this was going to happen, but because you read that article, then you know how to solve the problem. So Reiki can actually help you, direct you to figure out and understand different problems and how to solve them before they come, and then you have the solutions already.
And I think that that prayer we used in the invocation, which is a prayer that you use, guide me and heal me, so I may be of greater service to myself and to others in a way that
Mhm.
that can lead to that, can't it? To
Absolutely, yes.
these wonderful coincidences showing up. And William, you've also overcome a heart condition. What part did Reiki have in your healing process there? Can you tell us about that?
I think in the hospital, in the operation and so forth, and afterwards, the healing part of it, I healed fairly quickly from it.
Mm,
And yeah, see, the heart disease was in my family. My brother and father both had problems, and I didn't know I had a problem. And actually, what happened was that I was having what's called atrial fibrillation. And I went to the hospital, and the doctor examined me, and he said, "You need to have open heart surgery immediately."
mm.
And so I said, "Okay, let's go." So, anyway, I didn't have a problem of a big problem. In other words, the arteries didn't get blocked to the extent that I had a
Yeah.
heart attack,
Oh, good.
but I was alerted to that. And so I had the operation right away. And now my arteries are very clear. And in fact, when I go back to the mainland, I'm going to get a cardiolite treadmill stress test. They give you this liquid in your veins, and then you exercise, and then they take pictures, and they can see just what's going on. So I think regular checkups are really important, and getting good ones where they do something like that. Um, to really check your arteries and see what's going on and solve problems before they get worse. Regular medical checkups, I think, are really important because then
Yeah.
you catch something early. With Cenegenics, they actually you have a medical checkup 4 times a year.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, 4 times a year.
Yeah.
And because of that, you catch things early and then they're easily able to be solved, as opposed to if you had something for a year, it probably got really bad. That's what they do. It's a year they give you a complete medical checkup. That's one of the methods that they make use of is regular checkups and catching things, and then they give recommendations to change your diet or get more exercise or do something to shift it. And then the next checkup, they find out, oh, that worked. Oh, it's getting better. Okay. It keeps you on track.
I love that, William. 4 times a year. I'm a little bit gobsmacked about that. That's really a lot, but it's also fantastic to be that diligent. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 times a year. I would say at least no less than twice a year,
Mm-hmm.
every 6 months. And then because as time goes by, then things start to develop. We want to catch them early and
Yeah.
not get into some great big problem where it's all over.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
William, I recently read a book, and this is also something that I know you're strong on. And the book was called 4,000 Weeks. And the premise behind it is that if you live to be about 80, that's 4,000 weeks, and that's an average lifespan. But even if you lived to 120, that's 6,000 weeks. And the premise behind the book is the importance of making the most of your time. If it's only 4,000 weeks, do you even want to spend a moment doing something that's not important to you. And I know it caused me to really shift my priorities and make some changes in my own life and figure out what my priorities were. You're really great at making the most out of every week. And you mentioned once when we were talking just about time management and productivity that despite the fact that you've achieved a lot, you also are very careful to give yourself free time and you tend to focus on doing one significant thing a day. Can you tell us how you make the most of each week and how you organize your day and with Reiki to maintain balance?
One thing I would like to mention that is really important, that might seem, as they say, counterintuitive, is to do nothing.
Yeah,
Spend time doing nothing. As an example, looking out the window, just looking at nature or something like that, or watching a favorite TV program where you're not trying to accomplish anything. You're just enjoying yourself. That's really important. Now, what happens is, let's say you've got some issues, things you're working on, and you're focused on them and trying to solve them. What happens, and when you do that, is the subconscious gets the idea of what the problem actually is. But then, when the subconscious comes up with a solution, what it needs is for you to have quiet time so that it comes up to the surface. So you need to have both time of focus and concentration and working on issues and time for relaxation, because it's when you're in those relaxing moments that the ideas will come up to the surface of your mind. If you're always busy and always focused and always engaged in doing things, you miss it. So you need to go for pleasant walks or just relaxing, get a massage. That's really nice to do. Or, of course, a Reiki session. With Reiki, I think it's very important to do Reiki on yourself and to receive Reiki from others and also to give Reiki to others. So those three. And that keeps your Reiki practice all balanced. And so when you're receiving Reiki, not only do you receive the actual energies and so forth, but it opens, your mind gets open to where new ideas will come in and then come up to the surface of your consciousness. Yeah, it's both being active and working on your issues, but also time to relax and take a break and enjoy yourself. And that's during those times is when actually remarkable ideas like solutions that you hadn't thought of will just come up to your, oh, I could do it this way or whatever. Let me ask so and so, they're an expert in that topic. Yeah, free time to relax is very important.
you really changed my thoughts around that because I was one of those people that was constantly busy. And you said one time, and I don't know if this is still the philosophy you live by, this was a few years ago. I said, William, you're one of the busiest people I know. And you said, not really. I just choose the most important thing to do that day and do it. And then make sure I have free time. And if I do anything else, it's a bonus. I think you said something like that. And I,
Yeah, yeah.
you really made me think differently about things.
Exactly. I think anytime people organize their lives, I think what you need to do is set priorities. And you could make a list of things you have to do. And out of that list, think if I only did one of them, which would be the most important thing? And put that at the top. And then you think about what's the second most important. And then go to the top of your list and work on the thing that's most important and work on that. And then and keep going until you're done. Or if sometimes we're working on a project, we have to wait to get some information or we have to go to the store and get something. So then go to the second one and work
Yeah.
on that. And then when you go back to the first one, go back to the first one. That way you're always working on the most important thing you have to do and you get the most done. And so you might not even get down to the bottom of your list, but you got the big ones done,
Right.
and that's the most important thing. So I think one of my skills, I believe, is knowing what are the key factors that make a project work. And
Okay.
I just do those key factors. And a lot of people have a philosophy is I just have to be busy all the time. So they're always, if I gotta keep going, I have to be. So it's a shotgun approach is if they're busy all the time, just by chance, they will do the important things. But if you can take some time and focus on what are the most important things for me to do, and then just focus on those, you're going to get a tremendous amount done. That's basically what I do.
Yeah, I love that. And I have to tell you, William, that really changed how I approach things, and it's so much more pleasant too.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, William, before we move into a meditation to help people live their longest and healthiest lives, is there anything else that you'd like to share with us on this? How people can live long, healthy, fulfilling lives with the help of Reiki?
One thing I believe is really knowing what your life purpose is.
Mm,
And now, the way to discover that is to think about what you value in life, what's important to you, and make a list of those things that you really value a lot. And then out of that, then you can start to come up with something you'd like to accomplish and that's important to you. Your life purpose is unique to you. And sometimes your purpose really isn't validated by your relatives. They don't, they've got certain specific things they think you should be doing. And often it has nothing to do with who you are as an individual. And so it's important for you to get to know yourself and create a purpose for yourself that is fulfilling for you and makes you feel good and happy about it rather than what society says you should be doing or your parents or your relatives or whatever. And then by doing that, then you're going to be doing things that you enjoy doing and that are important to you. That's something to be aware of, is not just to live your life based on what other people think you should be doing, but based on what you think is right for you as a unique individual, even though you may not get approval from others, you got to do it anyway because it's what you need to do. So often people, I think, are engaged in wanting approval, wanting to be approved by other people. But what you need to do is be approved by yourself. Like what things do you think are useful and valuable for you to do, and live your life in that way.
I often tell people that it came as a surprise to me because I grew up in a culture of probably workaholism and just very hard-working farmers and so on in my with my relatives, my father and grandfather and grandmother. And but actually joy shows up when you are living your life purpose. It's not hard work necessarily. There's a lot of joy in it. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, sure. Yeah, look at children when they're playing. They're just having fun and they
Yeah.
really enjoy what they're doing. And so the same can be true for us as adults that when we're doing what we really enjoy, then we're going to get the most done and we're going to be happy and feel fulfilled and life will go on in a way that's really well for you as an individual.
I love that. Yeah. Thank you, William. Well, William, would you be willing to lead us in a meditation today to just help us live a healthy and fulfilling life with longevity?
Sure. Now, yeah, what I would recommend that people can play music in the background. I would say
Mhm.
choose their own music to play. And so we'll give you a little bit of time to do that. And then what we're going to do is you can be seated or laying down or even change your position during this experience. And what I'm going to do is get everything flowing. So I'm not going to guide it the entire time. So I'm going to work in such a way to get things going in the right direction and then just let it go. I'll stop talking. And then your own inner mind will guide you. It could be that you'll just feel very relaxed and be focused on very pleasant feelings, or there could be something else that goes on for you. But your own subconscious mind will then guide the process for you directly in a way that's just right for you. Okay,
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great.
good. Okay, very good. This meditation is called the Ocean of Holy Love. And so there's an ocean that is filled with wonderful, loving feelings. The ocean water is a very warm, soothing kind of water. It's just a perfect temperature for you to swim in. And it also is filled with healing energies. And it has every healing energy anyone might need. It's very wonderful. It also has the ability to release stress or tension or fear or anger or anything like that, even deep down inside. And also, this water is so special that you can dive underwater and even breathe underwater. And so when you breathe underwater, then the water flows through your whole being. It's very soothing and healing and relaxing. And it fills you with wonder and hope and can even stimulate new ideas and possibilities for your life and just helps you to let go anything that might be holding you back or standing in your way, any unnecessary fear or anger or pain or memories from the past can just be completely released. And so the ocean of holy love is waiting for us now. So I'd like you to you could lay down or be seated and close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths. And I'd like you to imagine that it's a very beautiful day, a warm, sunny day, and that you're barefoot and you're walking along a path through a forest. And all around you, just imagine you can feel the presence of the plants and flowers and trees and bushes and grass, all the living things around you. And as you breathe into yourself, just imagine you're actually breathing in the life essence of the forest. And with each step that you take, imagine you can feel the energies of the earth flowing up through the bottoms of your feet. And as you're walking along, just allow yourself to let go completely and enjoy yourself, be fully present in this beautiful forest. And up ahead, you see it getting lighter, and you realize you're coming to the edge of the forest, and you walk out, and it's getting a little sandy there, and you realize you're walking out onto a beautiful beach, and before you is the ocean of holy love. A beautiful ocean, and you walk down along the sand, and the waves are coming up onto the beach and flowing back into the ocean. And you come to a place and stand there, and just where the water comes up and swirls around your feet, and then flows back into the ocean. And just listen to the sound of your own breathing. And the sound of your breathing becomes the sound of the waves as each wave washes up onto the beach and then flows back into the ocean. And the ocean of holy love is calling you now, inviting you to enter into its beautiful, wonderful waters. And so go forward now and start to walk into the ocean. It's a beautiful temperature, just like a jacuzzi, wonderful temperature. And just go in and you can float and swim. And like I was saying, even go down under the water and breathe underwater and explore. And the ocean of holy love is guiding you now. Allow yourself to be guided by the ocean of holy love. You can continue with your experience as long as you feel guided to do so. And whenever you're ready, take a couple of deep breaths. Bring your awareness to your eyes. And then slowly open your eyes and come back. And then if you're interested in, if you'd like to, you can take a moment and write down any ideas or experiences that came to you.
William, thank you so much for that. That was beautiful. And as always, it's wonderful talking with you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
It's my pleasure. And I just want to say thank you to all the people listening. I hope you had an amazing experience like I did. And I hope that you are able to live your best life to the fullest going forward. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Namaste.